Whoa. Check out that camera angle. Ha! Got a new toy. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, didn't plan that enough. Hold on. We can do better. There you go. So now you're attached to the sliding door of my tea shelf, my tea cupboard. How about that? Problem is now, it's only this angle, but it's kind of cool. I need to drink something after the travesty that was that Christmas tea. What am I going to drink? Well, come with me. Flip it around. Did that work? Oh, that might work. That work? Right, choosing tea. Choosing tea. No, this is ridiculous. I like the camera. I like the mount though, but it's kind of cool. And I can just take it off like that. And right, so let's see. What are we drinking? I kind of want some alcohol for some reason. I feel like tasting a little bit of something, but because I'm fasting, it's probably not a good idea to have alcohol in your stomach is the first thing after 2 days. So I am going to go for a pu'er tea, but light brew, baby, light brew. And you know what? Let's taste a tea that I've got to come up with a artwork with Celine for. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to try this ripe tea. I'm not going to say anything about it because, you know, I can't reveal too much. If you are a Mei Leaf watcher, then, you know, there's behind the scenes and then there's just getting the inside scoop on everything. But this is a ripe tea. And wow, this is a good workout for my arm. Feeling the burn. Feeling the burn. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. And we have to flip this. It's going to be all a bit weird, so get ready. Flip time. Here we go. I swear sometimes I just make excuses to buy more camera equipment. So what you are now sitting on is a camera mount for a calf to put on the on glass. It sticks to glass or smooth surfaces, so we can drive together. We can drive together, whatever that means. All right, as I said, I'm not going to say too much about this tea, but I'll show it to you. It's probably not going to come out until another year because that's how behind schedule we are in terms of artwork. Smells great from the bag. I promise that this channel is not going to be just about tea. I promise you that there's going to be plenty more food and drink and other things going on. Just so you know. Just so you know. It's just that because it just so happens that the time that I have to do these videos is mostly during my fasting days recently. It just means I've got no food to give you. Otherwise, I'd be chowing. I'd be munching. I'd be munching with you. I will be munching with you. Is that kettle too loud? Yeah. Don't know what I'm saying. What do we need to talk about as I smell this tea? Oh, yeah, here we go. I would like from you to let me know foods, drinks, scents, as in aroma, that you would like me to taste or to sample. I'm building a list. And yes, it can be obscure and it can be weird, but we don't have to go down the, oh, let's get Don to smell some rotten herrings or whatever. if you want me to do that rotten fish in a tin thing, I have actually tasted that before when I was up in the north of Sweden, and I had a Swedish girlfriend, and I went to have Christmas there, and I remember the smell of that tin opening. So I have actually tasted that before, but it was a while ago. And so, sure, I can taste gross foods, but I'm more interested in like foods that you think are fascinating or drinks that you think are fascinating, either for whatever reason. They could be that you love them. They could be just unusual. They could be just some sort of cultural significance or memory for you. Like maybe there's a soft drink that you had as a kid that like it's just processed junk, but it's kind of interesting to taste. It's not. I'm not. It doesn't have to be some sort of highfalutin kind of beverage or food or scent. So smells that you really like, that just captivate you. And obviously, we got an international audience, of course. So, there'll be people that will have suggestions of foods and drinks and scents that I maybe even can't get here, but I'll put it on the list and I will seek it out. That's the purpose of this channel, really, is to go and really like broaden my sensory palette of experiences. So please, like, send me whatever you want. Send me like any information, links to like places that I could buy stuff. Let's go. Let's try, and because this is not just a tea channel. It's meant to be that this was not a tea channel. It was Mei Leaf that's the tea channel. But while I sit here on this raw vlog, we can drink some tea. Especially, as I said, I'm not eating at the moment. But like, hit me with anything and everything that you would like me to sample. I'm really, really, really excited by that. Here we go. Smell this. Oh, it's just that perfect level of ferment funk and earthy chocolatey goodness. So immediately so at the moment, like for these kinds of teas, like I know it's going to be a year before this is pressed. I just want to try to get the character. It's not about taste notes. So I'm not going to talk to you about taste notes too much. I say that, I probably will. But character-wise, it's deep. It's it's definitely in the confectionery, chocolatey, creamy, yeasty, brioche note. But there's also a lot of jungly funk, wet, humid, fermented, slightly winey. It's got slightly winey, not a whiny. That's I love you in Chinese if you say it in a really bad way. Whiny. They go whiny. I always don't know why that came to my head. Yeah, it's like like rose hip and like an oxidized sherry, like maybe it's a sherry. So immediately I'm in that mode of like, okay, do we want to go down the line where this creature is more in that comforting, fluffy, yeasty, bready, pudding, no? Or are we going to highlight the fermented, winey, slightly wet woods, with fungi on it note? That note, I don't know yet, but it will reveal itself as I taste the tea and as I get to feel it getting sucked up into my body. I really, for some reason, fancy a tipple. Just that taste of something a bit fermented. But we'll stick with tea. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Anything that you want me to try. I mean, I'd love to do some traveling as well, and happy to have some foods that I can just mark up for a country. So if I head in that area, I can look for it. And by all means, if there's something that is sendable in the post, it's not going to get, that's not going to deteriorate, then if you're in the mood and you fancy it, then I'm happy to receive stuff. I mean, a bit dangerous to eat and drink food from a stranger, but I trust you. I trust you. Better be sealed packet, but then you could always, yeah. It's happened before where I get sent stuff and I'm just like, I don't know who sent this. Am I going to really eat it? I always do. I shouldn't say that to you. Anybody who wants to assassinate me because they just hate my tasting notes. I get that quite a lot, you know. People just go, this guy, just shut up with your tasting notes. Kind of find it funny. But, you know, hopefully it doesn't anger people that much. Probably get more anger from my work in medicine, of which I stay a bit more low profile. Just between you and me. Clean. Refreshing, while still having depth and roundedness. I still have frankincense in my mouth, which is affecting the taste, but in a really great way. Okay. I'm seeing hollowed out, like, logs. I'm seeing a little animal. I'm seeing, at the moment, I'm seeing the cake and I'm seeing like a hollowed out log with a little bit of like some fungi on the sides. And inside, this little animal is enjoying a little tipple and something like sweet and bready. You know those Swiss rolls? Or they make these chocolate logs, don't they? So we could sort of do a play of a chocolate log or a Swiss roll that's in the shape of like a log that has this animal in it. This is really not good for my back, this. Hold on. I need a wider angle lens, don't I? Move you back a bit. Don't fall. Don't fall. Don't fall. Right. I'm taking the incense, the frankincense out, and I'm putting it on this little pot here. Save it for later. Precious stuff. Okay, let's see. So at the moment, I'm seeing a fluffy animal, but let's see. I don't want to like set my mind up to visualize any one thing at the moment. This animal does not have scales. So warming and yeah, definitely got like a spongy, brioche. I'm scrolling through my Rolodex of bready and chocolatey things. So it's not Black Forest Gâteau. It's not got that cherry note to it. It has more of like as I said, a brandy note to it. It's not got a little spice. I'm seeing like Yule logs. That's what I'm seeing. Yuletide logs and some I don't know. This is what we do. And normally I do it with Celine as well. We just keep drinking, keep firing ideas at each other. Get to know the tea, get to feel it, get to feel the body sensation. I'm feeling like a rising heat coming up the back of my neck, like quite like a stripe. So immediately I'm thinking skunk or like something with a stripe up it. It's these kinds of randomness, that's terrible English. It's these kind of random connections that we'll throw together to create the artwork. Hi, Michigan. You want to say hi? Come, say hi to everybody out there. No, you can't get that close, mate. Too close. No camera presence. Ooh, that nearly fell. And when I'm in this sort of deep fast mode, all I can think about is when I go to bed. This is the one problem. Like I can actually handle without too much difficulty the not eating during the day. It's the going to bed. It's amazing how your brain just goes, you will eat, I will make you think of food. I mean, I think about food all the time, generally, or very often. But when you are like fasting, it's like amazing how your brain just like pops in like images of food. And actually weird images as well. Like I recently got this image of, I don't know if you've ever had aligot. It's like very cheesy, puree potato, sticky and cheesy. For some reason, I had this image of taking like a stick, kind of like a lollipop stick, but like a bigger, longer one, and stirring it into this aligot, so it becomes like a lollipop of this cheesy mashed potato, and letting it cool slightly so it becomes a bit stickier, and then just dipping it in Iberico ham crumb, so it becomes this like ham crumbed aligot lollipop. And for some reason I just couldn't get out of my head the image of me like taking this salty, slightly crispy to chewy, acorn nutty sweet, see, making my mouth water, Iberico ham crumb. I love Iberico ham. And then like biting through that, getting that sting of the salt, and then going into this soft, sticky, cheesy, sweet, comforting aligot pureed potato that had like a little bit of like a chew and a pull to it, almost mochi-like in its consistency because it had cooled, and just like then combining those flavors. I mean, ham and mashed potato is like childhood for me. When I was at school, my earliest memory of going back home from, hey, what are you doing? You're sniffing my armpit. It's because I smell so animal. Yeah, I remember so clearly, one of my favorite things would be to come back home from school and my mother would make me mashed potato, invariably out of like instant mash, no judgment there, smash or whatever it would be. So rehydrated potato and chopped up ham, just shop bought ham. And then she would like put a knob of butter and I'd let the butter melt in it, and I wouldn't stir it because I'd want like this puddle of butter in the mash, and I'd intentionally put indent in so it create like this little lake of molten butter, and then I would just sort of like scoop it and dip into the butter and like eat this creamy mashed potato with salty ham. Oh my gosh, like that for me was like childhood love affair. That's probably, one of the first like love affairs with food that I can remember. So I don't know, like it's just transformed into this aligot and Iberico. I might have to do it. I just might have to do it just so that I can experience it. In fact, I think I will. Make a good aligot with a good cheese. I don't know what cheese they normally use for aligot. Let's ask the AI out there. Which cheese do they normally use to make aligot?
It sounds like you're asking about the cheese in the French dish aligot. The traditional cheese for aligot is called tomate fraîche. It's a fresh, unaged cheese from the region where aligot comes from. You could also use other cheeses that are similar in texture, like raclette, Gruyere, or Fontina.
Gruyere is the king of cheeses, or at least, is one of the kings of cheeses, one of the royalties of cheeses. But yeah, maybe I'll try that one. What was it called? Tom Fresh. Right, weekend activity. Go find Tom Fresh. Figure out how to make an aligot. Got to get some good potatoes. I want something sweet, and I might actually cook them with the skin on and then peel them afterwards just to get a bit more earthiness in there. I want to marry the earthiness of the potatoes with that acorn sweetness of the Iberico ham. How do I make an Iberico ham crumb? Probably desiccate it, slow in the oven. Like just really sort of, I'm not going to cook it. Don't want to cook Iberico ham, like, for me, that's sacrilege. So just like really like low, bake dry, low. And make a crumb. Keep it simple. Thinking of a dipping sauce, but to be continued. Right, back to this animal before I go. Now I'm hungry. Now that's going to just occupy my mind. That sounded bad. That textural crunch. You've got to eat it fresh as well, I would imagine, because you need to dip it and go, because otherwise the Iberico ham's going to soak up the moisture of the aligot. It's going to ruin it. One of the big question marks is the aligot going to set enough to make it lollipopable? Because it might be that it's just too runny, and then when it sets enough, it's just too claggy. So it might just be a terrible, terrible dish, but at least I will have found out. Now there's parts of my brain saying, what about if you mixed in some glutinous rice flour at the same time just to give it more, but see, this is where the mind starts flowing. But yeah, that's what I notice. Stuff like that. I don't know what will pop in my head tonight, but something will pop in my head. I've come up with the wildest ideas. It's almost like my brain is telling me, like, you're not eating. Let me try to create some new dishes that will excite you. Are you bored of food? Nah, mate, I ain't bored. What is this animal? And where is he or she? Keep drinking, we'll figure it out, but I don't want to drink too much because the caffeine's going to hit hard. So there you go. Mishkin. Oh, come on, man. Camera presence. Let's go. No? All right, peeps. Send me over your thoughts in terms of foods and drinks that you think I should try. And scent, aroma, very, very important. Thank you. We will continue in the playground of discernment. Sounds bad. Very shortly. Bye-bye.